Hi, Sunny here. Today we're going to continue on our music theory lesson, and we are going to cover major and minor third interval. Previously we talked about octave. Octave is basically the same note, just the arrange higher. So it's an octave. And we talked about perfect fourth, which is the note right below the root note. And perfect fifth, basically is power chord. Today we're going to talk about major and minor third. Before we go into that, let's kind of talk about, so assuming that G note, the third fret of your root note, the starting note, if you start from there, we're going to touch base on major and minor second too. The note right next to it is basically a minor second, and then the whole note ahead, the fifth fret, is a minor third, as a major second. So it's minor second, major second, and the note after that, the third note, skipping two frets on the third note, that's a minor third. Okay, and the next note, which is skipping three notes in between, so my pinky's on the 7th fret, that's basically a major third. So when we play chords, obviously you cannot play on the same string. So what we do is that we play the minor, and most of the time we play the minor and major third on the second string. So if the note right below the root note is our perfect fourth, and we know that the note behind the perfect fourth would be our major third. So basically the second fret of your A, which is the B note, is the major third of G. So you play those two notes together, you have a G major third interval. See, this note is the same as 7th fret of your E string. See? 2nd fret of your A is the same as the 7th fret of your E. You're just playing it down here. Again, always go down one fret down, and the one fret behind is your major third. The only exception is, again, we talked about this before, is between the G and the B string, because the B and the high E string is shift one fret to the right. So basically everything is shift one fret over as well. So if you play the G, if you play a major third on a G and B string, the major third will be the note right under it. So let's say if you play 2nd fret of the G, that's basically an A note. Alright, so what is the major third of that? The major third will be the note right below it on a B string, which is a 2nd fret of your B. That's a C sharp. So that's a major third of A. Between those two strings, that is the only exception. Everything else is always the note behind your perfect fourth. So let's say, let's kind of go over it. So you know, if you play a G on the E string, perfect fourth is your 3rd fret of your A. So the major third would be 2nd fret. If you start from the C note on the A string, perfect fourth would be the note below it, which is the 3rd fret of your D. So the major thirds behind that is the 2nd fret of your D. So if you play those two notes, 3rd fret of your A and 2nd fret of your D, and you have your C major third. Again, same thing on the next two string, G and B string, G and D string. And then the next string is G and B, and again, this is what we're talking about. The note right below it is the major third. The perfect fourth, we talked about this before, is the note below it, but is moved one fret over to your right. So if you play the 3rd fret of your G, that's basically a B flat. The perfect fourth would be your D sharp, which is on the 4th fret of your B. That's the perfect fourth. So the major third would be the note behind the perfect fourth, which is the 3rd fret of your B string. If you get down to the B and E string, we're going back to the standard rule, which is the note below and then move 1 fret to your left. So if you play the 5th fret of your B string, that's basically an E note. The perfect fourth of that would be an A. It's the 5th fret of your E string. So the major third is the 1 fret to your left of the perfect fourth. So that would be your G sharp. So G sharp is a major third of your E. Okay, so that's major third. And minor third is basically the same, but you move another fret over to your left. So let's just say if you play the G, so we know that the 2nd fret of your A is your major third. So the minor third would be the 1st fret of your A string. That's the shape. 3rd fret of the E string and the 1st fret of your A string. And that's basically a B flat. If you start from the C on the A string, minor third would be the 1st fret of your D. Alright, again, when you get to the G and B string, remember you have to lose a fret. So basically, instead of go down 1 fret below and move 2 frets over to your left, you only have to move 1 fret over to your left. So if you play A string 2nd fret of your G, the minor third would be the 1st fret of your B string. If you get down to the B and E string, you got to go back to the standard rule. You got to move 2 frets to your left from the perfect fourth. So if you play the E string on the B, 5th fret, the minor third would be the 3rd fret of your E, which is a G. So the minor and major third is very important because they determine if the chord is minor or major. So if you play A major chord, there will be a major third in the A major chord. If you play A minor chord, there will be a minor third in the A minor chord. So the minor or major tells the difference if the chord is minor or major. And one thing that you will notice that the minor has this little sad sound to it. So if I play the D minor interval, or the D minor chord, has a little sad kind of sound to it, so that's a minor. Now if you play the D major, 5th fret of your A and the 4th fret of your D, has a happy tune. It's got a happy tone to it. We use that a lot for worship. We use minor too, but it's more somber in sounding. Major is sort of happier tone. So major is G major. I'm sorry, D major. So D major, D minor. You can tell the difference. So that's the distinct difference between major and minor. Just one note, but it makes a big difference, and it's the key to determine if the chord is major or minor. Here's some examples. So Many Tears, I use another video. We use a lot of a minor third interval. One of the songs that use major third interval I can think of is Knocking at Your Back Door by Deep Purple. Basically, Richie Blackmore used perfect fourth interval and major third interval for that song. So you see stuff in the perfect fourth and the major third of the A, and they play the perfect fourth for the rest of the way. Just two notes between the G and D string. That's all perfect fourth, except this when he plays a major third. Another song I can think of that actually use minor and major both, create a really kind of cool sound is Orion, instrumental by Metallica. Actually, he uses a major, minor third, major second as well. Well, we're not going to talk about major second, but I'm going to show you. So it's a lot of major and minor third in there. So the first part is E minor third, and he played that, and then suddenly he plays a major third, major second, and he jumps to that fifth fret of your A string and the fourth fret of your D. So there's a major third. And he plays this B bass note on the E string. So you have your minor third right here. 7th fret of your B, and the 5th fret of your A is a minor third. And he plays minor third again. So yeah, so you get there are a lot of songs with major and minor. It's very important to understand the difference. So you can basically play those two notes, major third, kind of get a sound in your head what major third sounds like, and then you do an E minor. Kind of get it into your head what the minor third sounds like. Once you hear it after a while, you can tell the distance between two notes, what they are, if they're major third, minor third. There's a distinctive tone to each interval. So that's major and minor third. And next lesson we're kind of going to go over major and minor second. Thanks for watching.